Welcome everyone to the video that was not promised by my polls. I was going to work on a stealth video and have that video pretty much worked out, though however I am aware of an update that may yet to be released that would affect stealth mechanics greatly, but I do not know when that will be released. So here we are, you curious and me a liar. So in the meantime, while we both wait patiently for Arrowhead to grace us with content, let's go over the HMG and its mini breakpoints. Like my last video, this one will be structured with the formula and damage shown on screen paired with a clip of me showing the math in action. This shall be the norm for my future breakdown videos, as well as I promise this time around I will do better about the voiceover and not have to be so misleading. I am so sorry about that. There are timestamps in the description if you'd like to jump ahead in the video to focus on anything specific. Due to how well my videos have been doing, and the plethora of comments that have been positive and how many people have asked for more, I have started my own official Discord, aptly named the Deep Divers. Link will be in the description down below. If this name is already taken, I have no idea, but I'm staking my claim. The server is brand new as of release for this video, but is a welcoming community that I will be highly active in, so come around and say hi, play a few games, make some friends who also love getting into the guts of the game. There are special roles that you can pick from to help keep you updated on things like my new videos, the state of the galactic war, or simply if you just like to ask weird and obscure questions that might be tested in my future videos. If you become a member of my channel, you'll be given a unique role that allows you to have shoutouts in my videos and server, as well as access to the control group chat where we can call upon you to test stuff with my videos and live stream. I am by no means a large or influential figure on this platform, but I would love to build a community with you all. Alright, shameless self-promotion done. Let's move on. Let's go over the stats. It has a standard damage of 150, a durable damage of 35, AP 4, which is heavy armor penetration, 100 rounds per magazine, 2 spare mags with 3 total mags. This can go up to 4 if you wear the Siege Ready passive, a toggleable fire rate of 450, 600, and 750 RPM, a massive vertical recoil of 55, and an annoying 32.5 horizontal recoil. This thing kicks like your sibling when you're fighting and they lay on your back assuming the forbidden fighting stance. A demo force of 15, a stagger force of 25, and a push force of 20, and a crazy low ergonomics of 0. Because this weapon has such an abysmal recoil and ergonomics, I recommend you crouch or lay prone if you plan on using this weapon for any amount of sustained fire. Pairing this weapon with armor sporting Fortified, Engineering Kit, or Peak Physique to contrast the negatives of this weapon. Crouching gives you a flat minus 40% reduction to recoil as long as you aren't moving. Prone gives you a flat 60% reduction to recoil. While I don't have the exact numbers, aiming down sights does reduce the overall recoil by a significant amount. If using an armor that reduces recoil by 30% and laying prone, you can take the vertical recoil from 55 all the way down to 15.4 and the horizontal recoil from 32.5 down to 9.1. In total, that is a whopping 72% reduction in overall recoil. Before we get into the first set of enemies in the bot faction, let me do a quick explanation of how armor and durable damage will be shown here. I will be using percentage-based math instead of multiplication so that I have to do less parentheses. And every time you do see the letter A used in my formula, just know it'll always mean 35%. The A is a stand-in for armor used for when the armor penetration matches the armor value of the target. Durable damage will be displayed as anything that is a percentage of value. If you wish to learn more about the durable damage and stuff like that, just click on this AMR video up here. The HMG is a dual-purpose weapon, with its primary use being an anti-medium horde clear weapon, much like its cooler cousin, the AMR. Fun fact, did you know that the damage of the entire magazine is 15,000 damage? This lines up with the LMG. Neat, right? Devastators are the enemy type that excels at handling. Hitting the chest is the easiest place to aim with the weapon that has immense kick, requiring only 4 shots. The head only has 110 health and will die in 1 headshot from any distance. Again, this weapon is a monster against hordes of Devastators, if aimed center mass, or even better when aimed in the general direction of the head. Reinforced Scout Striders. The Reinforced Scout Strider is technically considered a heavy unit according to the large dot that is on the radar. The front faceplate has an armor rating of 4, so while not ideal, the HMG does punch through it. It will take 6 shots to the faceplate, but most likely 7 due to drag. Anytime the formula ends in a 0.9 or 0.8, you can make the reasonable assumption that it actually will cost 1 more bullet than what the math says. Drag causes the bullet to lose damage immediately the moment it leaves the barrel. So the more shots it takes to kill something, the more the drag decrease accumulates over that amount of shots. So when something requires somewhere around 30 to 40, you can reasonably assume that you'll require an additional 5 shots, also depending on distance. The rockets on the side only have a health of 100, so it takes just 1 shot to bring it down. But the best location to aim for is simply the waist. With a health of 300 and no durability, it should take 2 shots at close range. Again, since drag affects the minute it leaves the barrel, it'll actually take 3 shots most of the time. The Hulk's eye are the best hit zone to aim, for having low health and low durability overall, taking only 4 shots to kill. Aiming for the main body will have you sink far too many shots, taking a staggering 35 shots to kill to the chest, as you are fighting against the entire health pool as well as its high armor value. This is more than 1/3 of your magazine. The heat sink on the back is deceptively tanky for weapons with lower durable damage like the HMG, taking 12 shots to the heat sink. Recently, the Warstrider had 2 new weak points added to it, the eye and the heat sink. The eye is really hard to hit due to the weapon's recoil, but should only take 12 shots to kill. This applies to both the eyes. Due to the high durability of these units, there is no really good TTK anywhere on his body, but it's still better than it was before. The heat sink in the back has more health than the eyes, but matches its formula exactly the same otherwise, requiring 16 shots to kill, but good luck catching it long enough before it turns around. The OG weak point, the hip joint, is still tankier than necessary, requiring as much as 20 shots to kill, but from what I can gather, it's actually the easier point to hit. All variants of tanks, as well as cannon towers, have the same weak point. Their main body has an AV of 5, so the HMG cannot hurt it from the front, but they all have a heat sink in the back that share the exact same stats. It would take 22 shots to kill one of these units due to the 100% durability of their weakness. This means that you are only doing 35 damage a shot maximum. Gunships are a cakewalk with this weapon in my opinion. The main body only has medium armor and 100% durability, taking 28 shots. Again, results may vary. The distance these guys try to engage at will have bullets suffering from a bad case of drag, so it is reasonable to assume it'll take closer to 30. Front thrusters are more forgiving, only having 85% durability, taking down in 8 shots. While the rear thrusters have a reduced durability of 85 down to 80, the breakpoints don't change. Now for the big boys. The Factor Striders have so many different hit zones on it that we would be here all day discussing the TTK, but let's focus on more realistic places that you would shoot it so we don't have to beat my head against the wall. The Gatling gun on its chin, while not fatal, can be shot off with 9 shots per gun. They have a low health pool but are 100% durable, so they are deceptively tanky. The eye of the Factor Strider can be taken out with 110 shots. This is guaranteed to be more than what my equation says because of the accumulating drag over 110 shots, and I do not recommend doing it. There's no way I can realistically verify this. Trying to stare down the eye of a Factor Strider and shooting more than a clip's worth of ammo just doesn't sound fun to me. But let's move on. The belly is quite reasonably the only location this weapon should be used. The belly has a mechanic called bleed out tied to it, which would make you think that it does damage to the main health pool, But no, this bleed out timer is set to 1200 over 0 seconds. What does that mean? Well, nothing that makes sense. It basically means the door has a second health pool. So while it has a health of 1200, it realistically has a health of 2400. So the formula looks like this. It would take 69 to 70 shots, which in retrospect isn't really that much. So why does this mechanic exist, and why not just give the door 2400 total health? Well, have you noticed that when shooting the belly of a factory strider with a recoilless rifle, it still takes 2 shots? I mean, the recoilless rifle deals 3000 damage, but doesn't kill it. That's because the first 1200 damage acts like the first health bar of a boss fight. If the boss has 2 phases, and the end of the first phase you deal 100 damage, but they only had 10 health left, the extra 90 damage doesn't carry over to the second phase. Bunker turrets, anti-air, and mortar emplacements share all the same health, armor, and durability. So let's group them all together. It would take 18 shots for each of these. All variants of the Overseers have a breastplate of 150 health, so a single shot theoretically is enough to shatter their armor, but only at really close ranges. The armor itself transfers 20% of the damage to the main health pool, so the formula looks like this. It would take 3 shots to the torso to kill an Overseer. Again, has to be close range. It will most likely be 4. An Overseer's head had a recent increase to 200 health, so now it just takes 2 shots to the head to kill. No durability, no fancy math, just 200. Harvesters has 2 notable weak points. The Eye of the Harvester has 350 health and deals 120% damage to the main. So the first 3 bullets of the HMG deal 150 times 3 plus 120% equals 990 to the main health pool, followed by the following formula to finish it off. It'll take 33 shots in total. The hip joint is the only real noticeable hit zone change, taking only 15 shots to bring down. The Stingray is all just one big main health pool with no individual parts that count as fatal, but technically there are 3 parts. All listed as main, which means that they all act at the same, but the gun ports have a lower durable damage, so those large guns on the front have a durability of 50% instead of 70% like everywhere else. It will take 9 shots to the gun. The rest of the body will take 12. While you could just mag dump a Fleshmob and get the job done, that way, it would be quicker to hose the whole front and pop each head for a faster TTK. Each head has a health pool of 425 durability and deals at least 1.5 times a multiplier to the main health pool. So each shot to the head would deal 121 damage, taking 4 shots per head before popping, dealing a total of 485 damage to the main health. But wait, there's more. While the bullet doesn't go through the back of the Fleshmob, it does dig deeper into its body, dealing a second instance of damage. So for those 4 shots, you are getting an additional 121 damage for a total of 970 damage per head popped. The Fleshmob only has 5000 health, so if you crank up the RPM to the max, you will kill it in a theoretical 20 shots if placed on all the heads. Nursing Spewers and Bile Spewers have a very little head health and mouth health, only being 300 for the head and 250 for the mouth. With my reluctance to put the math on screen because it is so simple, here it is. 300 divided by 150 equals 2, taking 2 shots at close range and 3 further than 20 meters. The Bile Sacks, however, might be an easier target, especially at distance. Requiring 22 shots to kill, the back end is 100% durable, so you will only be doing 35 damage per shot. Alpha Commanders. The Alpha Commanders have really durable heads, taking 4 shots to kill. Aiming for center mass would get you the kill in 15 shots. The Charger Behemoths are so tanky, sporting 1,600 head health and 100% durability, and an armor value of 4, requiring 71 plus shots to kill the head. That's far too many shots. The leg is a far better hit zone, taking 27 shots to strip the armor off, then an additional 14 shots to the exposed flesh beneath, much faster TTK. The butt of the Charger takes 28 shots to pop. If you angle the shots right, however, the overpin of the gun will hit the inner flesh and deal 3 times the damage to the main health pool. While my math shows the bullets to kill, the bullet passing through the butt deals 50% of the damage transferred to the main health pool, so the TTK is more like 20 shots. Spore Chargers are less durable and have an overall lower health pool. You can just assume it'll take less shots across the board. The Impaler only really has one place to aim, the forehead, requiring 20 shots at close range. The Bile Titan's head takes 57 plus shots. Don't try this anywhere else. The amount of shots is just too much. It's over 1 magazine if you shoot anywhere else, including the belly. Dragon Roaches are the exact same, except they have wings. The wings have a health pool of 1500 and a 2500 0-second bleed out, so an effective 4000 health, and are 100% durable. If aiming for the wings, it'll take you 115 plus shots, so make sure to take your time and aim. Oh, and aim for each of the one wing only. They have all separate health pools. Hivelords. So how many shots does it take to bring down a Hivelord, huh? Well, let's see. According to my math, more than I give. But no, seriously, the only location you can shoot a Hivelord and hurt it is the mouth. It would take 1000 plus shots to bring it down. Both Spore Spewers and Shrieker Nest have the exact same stats, taking 72 plus shots to bring down. This is all the notable breakpoints I could think of for the HMG. If you found this video informative or entertaining, please leave a like or a comment. If you do leave a like, please just make sure it is a valid criticism and not just a, no, weapon bad. I want to hear what you have to say. And remember, there is a link in my description to my Discord. Subscribe if you see yourself coming back for more videos like these, and if you really like my videos, consider becoming a member.